Alright, technical manual 9232036-310. Operator's manual for a tractor trailer, a truck, tractor, line haul truck, 52,000 GVWR 64, and a tractor truck, light equipment transport, tractor truck, light equipment transport, truck dump, heavy chassis, on-off highway. Alright, let's move on. So we're basically dealing with a tractor trailer dump truck, kind of heavy wheel, I say it. Approved for public release, distribution is unlimited. Headquarters Department of Army, December 1997. For information on first aid, refer to Field Manual 42511. Warning: carbon monoxide exhaust gas kills. Carbon monoxide is colorless, odorless, deadly poison which, and when breathed, deprive the body of oxygen, cause suffocation. Exposure to air containing carbon monoxide produces symptoms of a headache, dizziness, loss of muscle control, apparent drowsiness, and coma. The permanent brain damage of the death can result from severe exposure. Carbon monoxide can exhaust fumes in internal combustion engines. Carbon monoxide can become dangerously concentrated under conditions of inadequate ventilation. The following precautions must be observed to ensure safety. Personnel with the engine of the truck is operated. Do not operate the truck engine in the enclosed area. Do not idle the truck engine with adequate ventilation. Do not drive the truck with the inspection plate for the cover plates removed. Be alert with exhaust poison symptoms. They are headache, dizziness, sleepiness, loss of muscular control. If you see another person with exhausting poison symptoms, remove the person from the air. Expose them to fresh air. Keep the person warm. Do not permit physical exercise. Administer pulmonary resuscitation if necessary. Notify a medic. 6. Be aware of the protective mask of the non-nuclear biological chemical protection will not protect you from carbon monoxide poisoning. The best defense against carbon monoxide poisoning is good ventilation. Warning: batteries. To avoid injury, eye protection is required with working around batteries. Do not smoke, even the open flame, make sparks, or create any other ignition sources around the battery. If the battery is given off gas, if it can explode, it cause injury to personnel. Remove all the jewelry, such as rings, ID tags, watches, bracelets. If the jewelry or the tool contact with the battery terminal short with resolving instant heating damage, and for the equipment injury, the personnel sulfuric acid contained in the batteries can cause serious burns. If the battery corrosion electrolyte make contact with the skin, eyes, clothing, take immediate action to stop the corrosive burning effect. Failure to follow these procedures may result in death or serious injury. Flush with cold water not less than 15 minutes. Seek with medical attention immediately. Skin flush large amounts of the cold water until the acid is removed. See medical attention is required. Internal corrosion of electrolyte ingested to drink large amount of water and milk with a foul with the milk and magnesium beaten egg, vegetable oil. Seek medical attention immediately. Clothing or equipment. Wash the area with a large amount of the cold water. Neutralize acid with the baking soda, household ammonia. Warning: brakes. Do not use the trailer handbrake to prevent the trailer from jackknife and cover this make over the trailer to jackknife. Modern air brake systems are designed to deliver the right amount of the air to allow the wheels to stop vehicle without jackknifing. Failure to follow these warnings may result in the death and injury to personnel, damage of the equipment. Do not use the trailer handbrake as a primary brake to keep the tension for the coupling system. With this will cover the undue tension for the braking with the coupling could result with the injury to personnel with the damage of the equipment. The preventing problems with the slack and in fifth wheel. Even the good braking habits with adjusting coupling of the braking system properly with a caging brake for the block wheels to keep the truck for the movement when the brakes are released. Failure to follow this warning may result with the death and injury to the personnel with the damage of the equipment. Do not use engine brake if the road surfaces are slippery. Use the engine brake on the wet, icy, snow-covered road. This could result with the loss of the vehicle control. Failure to follow this warning could result with the death and injury to personnel with the damage of the equipment. Brake chamber to consider the spring on greater pressure to prevent personnel with the injury. Never work directly behind the chamber. If the caging of the bolt will not engage properly, spring may be broken. Do not remove the clamp ring with around the spring brake chamber and under tension can cause the personal injury as release. When spring brakes are applied with the vehicle will stop quickly, would result with the injury to personnel. Also, vehicle cannot be driven again for the until malfunction if the repaired enough the air supply is present with the operation surface brakes. Warning: compressed air. The compressed air with the cleaning of the drying purposing with a clear restriction with it never to exceed 30 psi with a wearing protective glove with a goggle shield with a glove, etc. Use the caution to provide a joy injury to the personnel. Warning: CTI operation for the M917A with the M917A1 WMCS. When resuming highway services, be sure to reset the CTIS selector panel for the higher tire pressure. Open the vehicle with the underinflated tires will cause premature tire wear of the damage of the tires, causing unsafe driving condition. Failure to follow this warning may result in death or injury to personnel. Always wear eye protection. Drain all the air from the wet tank before disconnecting the CTI's airline hoses and fitting the residual air in the tires. Airlines will be expelled even though the tire is flat. Failure to follow this warning could cause serious eye injury. Warning. Diesel fuel handling. Do not smoke or permit any open flame in the air with the truck while you're within the diesel fuel system. Be sure the hose of the nozzle is grounded against the failure of the tube during the refueling to prevent static electricity. Failure to follow this warning may result in an injury to personnel with equipment damage. Do not perform fuel system checks, inspections, maintenance. Smoking near flames, sparks, or fuel might ignite, causing damage to the vehicle with an injury, death to the personnel. Fuel tank may become hot during vehicle operation. Use the hand protection while removing the fuel cap. Warning: dry cleaning solvent. The dry cleaning solvent, the PD 680, is toxic, flammable. Always wear protective goggles with the gloves. If they use only in well-ventilated areas, avoid contact with the skin and the eye of the clothes. Do not breathe vapor. Do not use it near the open flame with excessive heat. The solvent flash point is 100 degrees to 138 degrees Fahrenheit. If you become dizzy while using the cleaning solvent, immediately get fresh air for the medical help. If solvent in contact eyes, immediately wash your eye to get medical aid. Warning: fire extinguisher discharge lock with the dry chemical. Fire extinguisher in the cab may result in temporary breathing difficulty during immediately after discharging an event. If and at possible, discharge fire extinguisher from the outside of the cab, ventilating the cab through the primary re-entry. Warning: hazardous waste disposal. When servicing the vehicle, performing maintenance with disposing materials such as the engine, coolant, transmission fluid, lubricants, battery acids, batteries, and CARC paint. You consult the unit local hazardous waste disposal center safety outfit, the local regulatory guidance. If further information is needed, please contact the Army Environmental Hotline 1-800-872-3845. Warning: hearing protection. Hearing protection is required with the operating of the vehicle at more than 35 miles per hour when the windows open for an extended period of time. The hearing protection is also required when working around the truck and engine with the running is extended period of time with the performing loading of the dumping operation. Failure to follow this warning may result with a hearing damage. Warning: NBC exposure. NBC exposure is suspected in all air cleaner media with shows to be handled by all personnel while wearing protective equipment. Consult NBC officer, NBC NCO for the appropriate handling and disposal procedure. Warning: if the NBC exposure is suspected, all air filter media will be handled by personnel wearing full for the NBC protective equipment. See operator maintenance manual to order the NBC decal. Use the international stock number, part number, commercial, government, entity code. Warning: pressurized cooling hydraulic system. Do not remove the radiator cap and for the engine's cold. Remove the cap in 2 steps. First, place the thick cap over the thick cloth over the cap, and then slowly turn the cap to the left of the first stop. However, all the pressure to escape, turning the cap further and left until it can be removed. This is the pressurized cooling system. Escaping steam, hot water, and coolant will cause serious burns. Do not remove filler cap with the hydraulic is hot. Fluid is hot. Hydraulic tank is pressurized with 5 psi. Remove the cap slowly to prevent serious burns. Warning: slave starting. When slave starting a truck, use the nail slave cable to do not have the loose or the missing insulation. Not proceed with it if suitable with the cable that are not available. Do not use civilian type jumper cables. Failure to follow this warning could result in injury. Warning: tire change. Whenever the inner and outer wheel lug nuts of the required tightening of the wheel has been removed or replaced, lug nuts must be torqued with the required torque. With failure to follow the warning may result in serious injury to the person. The damage to the equipment. Warning: truck operation. Be alert for the personnel or while operating the truck. They also check the ensure that the clear personnel with the obstruction before moving. Failure to follow the warning may result in a serious injury to death to the personnel. Use the seatbelts while operating vehicle. The mandatory fast belt before the driving. The trying with the fastening 3-point belt while driving creates a hazard condition. Failure to follow the warning may result in the death of the injury to personnel. Serious injury may result in the head clearance that is not adequate while sitting in the seat before driving and riding in the vehicle. Ensure the adequate clearance is at the maximum upward travel of the seat. Check the engine button as used for the diagnostic purpose only. Do not push check engine button during the vehicle with the operation, but because the engine will slow down in an idle, which causes the hazard of operation condition to return operating mode by releasing the accelerator pedal, allowing the engine to return to the idle speed. Failure to follow this warning may result in the death of the injury to personnel. Use the caution of coupling, uncoupling with a tractor truck. Be alert for the personnel in the area. Ensure the hand of the arms and bodies are clear with the potential pinch from the point of the failure to follow this warning may result in the injury to personnel. Operating truck will underinflated defective tire may lead to the tire failure, losing loss of steering control damage of the equipment. The injury to personnel may result. These vehicles have been designed to operate safely and efficiently within the limits specified in this manual. Operating beyond these limits prohibited in accordance with the AR 7010 without written approval of the Commander, U.S. Army Tank Automotive Armaments Commandment, ASEMA, DSACS, Warren, Michigan, 483975000. Alright, warning: winch operation M916A and the M916A2. They always wear heavy gloves with the handling of the winch cable to never allow the cable to run through the hand with the very cable that can cut you. Never operate with the left and forward turns of the cable with the drum. Keep the cable tight with the close together the drum while the winching. Failure to follow this warning may result in the injury to the personnel. Hearing protection is required to operate with the personnel working around the station during operation. Do not use the winch moving and lifting people. The serious injury could result. Warning, works safety. Use the caution lifting handling wheel. The tire assembly is heavy. Could cover the injury from properly lifted if it falls on you. Hydraulic jackets intent for the only lifting the truck, not supporting the vehicle through the performance maintenance. Do not get under the truck after the race unless it's properly supported with the blocks and jack stands. Failure to observe this warning may result in death or injury to personnel. Either it's highly flammable explosive. Either it's highly flammable explosive. Do not perform quick start system check with the inspection while smoking near flame or sparks failure. If all of this warning may cause the fire explosion, cause serious injury to death of personnel. Handle must be with the operating release level of the failure. Do so could result in injury to personnel. Failure to complete the turn on and off the air cutoff valve will cause the loss of the brakes on the trailer or truck. Lifting cable chain, the hooks and ceilings, even the lifting of the truck may be begun conditions suitable capacity. Failure to follow this warning may result in injury to death of the personnel, damage to the equipment. Improper use of the lifting equipment, improper attachment of the cable of the vehicle, the serious personnel injury, equipment damage. Observe all of the standard rules and safety. Warning, water distributor towing. Do not tow a 6,000-gallon water distributor with a partial load except when the construction site's maximum speed of 10 miles an hour. But the towing outside of the construction site that use the drain water distributor with the empty with a preferred or filled with a capacity. Failure to file with the warning could result in the unsafe driving conditions, could severely injury, the death of the person with the damage of the equipment. While towing 6,000 gallons of water distributor, fifth wheel must be preceding the load. Halt 172 for the travel lockout must be engaged to prevent side-to-side oscillation water distributor. Failure to follow the warning could result in the unsafe driving condition, cause serious injury or death of the personnel and damage of the equipment. All right, your operator's tractor, truck, tractor, line haul, 52,000 GVRW, and the other ones. These are the removal pages. List of effective pages. All right, Chapter 1, Introduction, General Information, Equipment Description, Data Principle, Operation, Instruction, Description, Use of Operator's Control Indicator, Preventive Maintenance, Check Services, Operation under usual conditions, Operation under unusual conditions, Operator Maintenance, Lubricating Instruction, Operator Troubleshooting Procedure, Operator Maintenance for reference, and components for the end item, Basic Item Issue List, Additional Authorization List, Expendable Durable Items, Storage, Decals, Data Play with Essential Guide, Lubricating Instruction, and Index.